check. Uh, so I'm late. Damn late. Damn. Who's in the house? Who's in the house? Who put on their notifications? I was considering shutting her down and bringing it up tomorrow, do a Sunday live, but I might just try to do my little hour and, things kind of got in the way today, man. Every possible thing, every power that be trying to make me not do my podcast was in my way today. I mean, damn. But I decided to do it anyway. And I'm here with whoever else wants to show up, tap in, all that sort of stuff. I might make it a little shorter and just attack the one thing I want to attack tonight. Normally I try to hit you with the 3 topics, have some sort of a formal, not too formal, that's structure, I should say, when I do this. But this one might actually take a while from the way that I decided to do it. And I'm hearing a little noise in my background. Hang on, I gotta shut a door, and then we'll really get started. Hang on. Oh, yes. So welcome to Last Call Live, my podcast here. Let me just go back and let you know what this is all about. So, try to put my hand into this YouTube thing, person from the sector, if you want to call it that. And just for discussion purposes, to get some expression out there, to give my opinion on what's going on. My general format is that I try to do a live at least once a week, on the various things kind of bubbling around the YouTube streets. And then I try to focus one item in a video also once a week. And I drop my opinion on that, and that's normally about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So I throw that out there for discussion. Other than that, I might throw out a little old school joint, a little digging in the crates. Something for you to remember. Maybe something I like to put my music on random all the time. So shit I haven't heard for years maybe, or just forgot about, pop up, and I might ride with that for the rest of the week. And I try to get other people to kind of do the same thing. And that works out pretty good too. People are like, yeah, remember that, blah 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 blah. And sometimes, like my last podcast, I do entertainment essentials. So last week we kind of just concentrated on 3 hip-hop, was it 3? Yeah, 3 hip-hop albums I'd ride with, which was Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links. I threw in Crime Boss, even though I didn't intend on it. I threw in Crime Boss, Conflicts and Confusions. And I also put in Camplo, Uptown Saturday Night. And, it could be serious stuff that we get into. like the Robert Brooks shooting or the school shooting. There's also been another shooting this week. I don't know if I should have censored that. I don't know how YouTube does stuff like that. But yeah, it could be stuff like that. It could be kind of the stuff we're going to get into tonight. I have a whole list of things, but like I said, for time's sake and all of that, I'm just going to concentrate on one because I've been talking about it a little too often. And that is basically a little bit of the format of what we do here at the Last Call page. You can find a little bit of everything, a little bit of my sense of humor in there, maybe a little wisdom, a little education. You could see me pop up on other platforms or just sometimes goofing around in the chat as well, enjoying myself. And I probably won't be in your chat if I don't like your page. So, I am in there supporting what you do, but also having a good time with other people that are around also. So thank you for being here. Thank you for checking me out. And if you would be so kind to like, share, and subscribe to my little channel. It's funny, man. I put out some, I wouldn't consider myself a content creator. I think Propane said that the other day, trying to make a distinction between who's people calling themselves content creators or just coming on and riffing about shit. I put myself more on the side of riffing about shit. Content creators are dudes like a Information Man show who puts on an information show. All right. I do research, but I'm not sitting down making PowerPoints like Lennon or having your background and stuff. It's basically stuff you could read and I'll share the screen, that sort of stuff. But no, I wouldn't consider myself a content creator, but I try to give you some stuff with integrity. I see other people with subscribers up the wazoo for shaking a booty. I mean, damn. My thing was struggling around 49 for a while. I can't even break 50. Help me out. Make it be tonight. And then we could talk about the triple digits, for crying out loud. So like, share, and do me a favor. Hit me with that subscribe. Now it is late. Normally around Wednesday, I would normally go on around 7:30. I got time to flesh out what I'm going to say, attack some other points and stuff, and hit you with a few topics, range from one to the next, that sort of have to do with each other. I'll tell you what the original format was. Well, you could actually see it in the description. I don't know if I'm going to change that. And I don't know if this is going to be, I might still do a Wednesday one just to kind of catch up with myself. So this could very well be a part one of part two. I wanted to speak a little bit about the inauguration, some of the performances in there. I wanted to speak about this idiot, Slopyy Red, her deal, and a few other things of what's going on. But the main thing that I've been spending my time, I guess I could say being entertained by, is this Lord Jamar thing. So let's get into it. Back at the show. Now I'm going to try to give you some information here. And you know what I'm going to do? Sometimes people jump in and whatnot, but I might forget to do this later. So if anybody wants to tap in for a good word or even a little debate or a contribution, hopefully that makes its way up there. Please, please, please do not be shy. So, like I said, I didn't really get a whole bunch of time to do any visuals or anything. And usually when I do this too, it's kind of like I just call up the articles that I'm reading and doing stuff too at the same time. And I'll be doing the same here. It's because I don't know even know if I said this, but it's just been a day. It's just been a week. I've been moving around. Had to move some stuff to another room, so I'm podcasting from a different room, and the connection's not great in here either. So even when I was listening to some other stuff, I managed to get disconnected a few times, which is really weird because I normally have a good connection and stuff like that. So I was a little worried about that today. I don't think I ever did a Saturday before, so that's kind of new. And I wanted to be on here much, much, much earlier, and wasn't able to do that either. If anybody was paying attention, you would know that I had to change the time on this too. And it went a little later, so I didn't get the time to do the preparation. But sort of like when I went to college too, when I did the research and all that stuff, I would do it up to the point of when I would have to write my essay, so all the knowledge is there. I just got to put it down. So that's what we're doing here today. All right. And what I'm talking about, what we are going to be talking about, let me see some of the stuff that I have in the background over here. We are going to be talking about Lord Jamar's, I'm going to call it Crash Out. All right. In case you haven't heard about it, I mean, it's all over the YouTube that I check out and everything like that. I'll give you a little bit of background. I'll give you some of my opinion on it too. We will also view some other content that people put down about it. And maybe you could, tell me your opinion of it also, man. So we will definitely get to do that. And so hang on. And if you got anything to add, please, please, please do that. One of my homeboys in the house. Manuel, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. YM in the house. What's up? What's up? Good to see you guys, man. On a Saturday, we're doing it different, right? All right. You didn't hear about Lord Jamar? Good, good. Finally, I could tell you about something you haven't heard. So you might actually like this. All right. You guys ready to get into some shit? All right. Let me turn this down a little. Let's get into this. So before I even get into showing the clips and all of that stuff, let me give you the background. And then, we'll play clips. They're going around. It doesn't seem like they're striking anybody for it. And let me just say vocally, this is, what the hell do you call this? Copyright Act of 1976. Come on, man. Don't strike my shit. I'm a nice guy. All right. You know what I realized? I know I'm saying I'm going to get to this. This is going to be longer than I wanted. I tried to add some sound effects and I end up sounding like a psychopath because I think you guys could hear it. And when I go, fair use, thank you. And when I go back to listen to it, I realize nothing, no sounds. No sounds have made it through. So I'm there thinking I'm hearing applause. Everybody's hearing the applause go. And I'm like, thank you. Nothing. So that's my dorky self and, rookie mistakes. We'll chalk that up to more rookie mistakes. So let's get into this crazy little thing. Well, let me put a picture up for you, maybe. I'll put this in the background. I don't know who I'm using yet. So at least I'll give you a little something to look at in the meantime. Where is he? There he is. All right. So I'm going to explain all the shit, and I hope that doesn't throw you off while I'm talking about this. Might as well give a shout out to that channel since I got you in the background. Jesus Christ, one of these young people using letters for names. All right, if you get the Birdman, it looks like. All right, I just kind of chose this for now. You know, we'll see if he or he, she, whatever, well, man, will be of any use when I start getting into this. All right, so enough chat. Here we go. This is an interesting one, YM. You really got to tell me what you think. All right. So we know, let's go way back when we know that Lord Jamar, Godfrey, and Rod Digga had a podcast. Not I mean, or whatever it was like that. I'm too old to, well, not really. I have to see it in front of my face, but it was 3 of them. And they did this podcast. They'd interview rappers. They would comment on things that are going on. You know, I don't like that video that's behind me over there. I'll put it on the actual guy. I'll use his. Shout out to Professor Dave. Don't strike me, bro. So we know that these guys, they used to get along. They put out some content. Now, a little bit about me as I continue to talk about this. I'm from the old school enough, as you could tell from some of the music I throw down in the shorts, out of the collection, out of the crates and all that stuff, that Last Call loves the old school. So I tried to throw some shit in there. All right. Lord Jamar, because I shouldn't say that I'm surprised of how many people don't know about him, but you know, it's like anything else, you know, just because it's important in one generation, and especially with new hip hop heads and stuff, you don't necessarily need to know this guy. But let me give you a little bit of context. So whenever you think the golden age of hip hop, where a lot of people say, you know, 86, 87, maybe to 96, you know, those days, late 80s, early 90s is the golden age for hip hop. Lord Jamar was part of a group called Brand Nubian. And I'll admit this right now on my podcast. After basketball practice, we went to one of the record stores. The record stores, they still had tapes in there. I didn't steal the tape, but it ended up in my boy's pocket with 2 other tapes. And we couldn't stop listening to Brand Nubian. I didn't love the tape. You know, obviously, if you're from this generation that never owned a tape and annoyed your teachers in high school by rewinding the tape with a pencil in front of their face, and they're trying to teach you, as an adult, I know how annoying that shit is. But as a kid, I was just trying to rewind my shit without using my battery for my next class, right? Brand Nubian was part of that scene, and Lord Jamar was a part of that group, Brand Nubian. Now, there's different takes on what you think about the group. It's just one of those, I'll just tell you this general consensus. They have earned a spot in hip hop. Rampuba came out more like to be the shining star of that group. I'm going to change the background again because I thought this was showing me something that it's not. Third base was on Drink Champs. So I don't necessarily, you can't go and say Lord Jamar was like the best rapper, blah, 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 blah. But that's kind of how they earned their spot in hip hop. All right. Through that group there. I'll put that in the background for now. Hold on. Grand Puba went on to do some things, and Sadat X probably went a little more underground. Grand Puba also got a little push after he did that joint with Mary J. Blige. What's the 411? I think he did the remix. He was chosen to do that, right? And that's kind of where that went. Lord Jamar, he did a stint at the Oz on HBO, the show, and did some acting gigs as well. So all that sort of before this internet, YouTube, social media stuff came out. So a dude like me, when I started, I didn't hop on that YouTube like everybody else. And when I started seeing people with podcasts like DJ Kenny Parker, the DJ for KRS-One, his brother, dudes like Lord Jamar come out. The only thing we really had back in the day to connect us with our hip hop heads and other people were like Bright On Magazine or some shitty interview, or, where, they couldn't get as candid as you wanted them to. And here they are, all the rappers and people that you kind of like, that you knew that they were kind of down to earth, right here talking to the masses. So I thought that was dope. I do have to say, on a couple occasions, I was a little disappointed to hear Lord Jamar speak, because it kind of seemed like, I know he's a street dude, know he's a hood dude, but you don't have to do all that when you're like 50 years old. And I put you on a little bit of a higher, a little higher plateau, because you're a 5%er of the nation. What is it? Arm, leg, a leg, arm, head. You know the lessons in the street. You're supposed to be a beacon. But what I'm hearing from you getting blunted on your podcast, you're getting high. You sounded ignorant as shit. Worse than these little kids. I expected some evolvement to happen with this guy. And he had his moments lately, especially this year. I have to say, one of the things I liked, and you could catch this on Lennon Honors channel, Lord Jamar interviewed Umar Johnson. And it was a great interview. Not just a great interview because Umar handled himself very poorly, and he revealed exactly what a lot of people thought he was and who he is. But the questions were good. He was very poised. He was about getting that information. He even offered resources. He didn't just tackle Umar Johnson like most people should. He actually gave him a chance. And he gave him a chance because he's very close to education. And I believe it's his father-in-law who had opened a school. And he was saying, look, I not anybody to take it over, but offering. Umar was so disrespectful that he didn't even call him his father-in-law. He kept calling him his brother, his cousin, and everything else, but what the hell he was, And Umar ended up crashing out in that interview, and he was actually revealed. Now, I think I'll give you some 2 cents behind that. I think that interview with Lord Jamar was also a feeler. It was almost like a pre-test, because Umar was set to speak at I'm going to forget the venue names and whatnot, but where the 5%ers are known to hold their events, the place where they do their stuff, they do their business there and whatnot. And I really feel like it was canceled after that interview with Lord Jamar, because I think they, on a larger scale, they wanted to feel out who this guy was, if he could be an asset, if they could help him with resources, if they wanted to help propel him to the next level. But Umar handled himself so poorly. The next day, Umar went back to the school, crashed out again. I keep asking Lennon to play that damn video, because that's one of my favorite videos out of all the Umar. He lost a little bit of his mind. He was talking to the wall. He was beside himself, because he couldn't understand why his gig was canceled, and he just went out, man. He just went out, But that was that. And so from that, I thought, um, the hell is his name now? Lord Jamar. I was like, okay, he does have the ability to, present a good interview space, get information besides just being entertainment, and besides just being ignorant as well. So I was like, cool. I'm just going to speed this up for time's sake because I do want to get to the video that you're seeing behind you, and we're going to chop it up a little bit and some of the feelings and everything behind that. So this year, within the year, Jamar's been involved in a couple things. So Tariq, which is another, without Tariq Nasheed, Hidden Colors guy, also a enemy of Umar, big ego guy who's looking weird lately. I mean, I don't want to speak on people's looks and stuff, but something happened to that guy. He takes extra care, like metrosexual, more manicure than his wife, I'm sure. Something happened. I don't know, man. I think he had a health scare or something like that because he does not look as healthy as he once looked. Looks a little weird. I keep wondering if somebody will look into that. He looks like, I don't know, possible mild stroke or something like that. That's kind of what he looks like to me right now. Anyway, he came out with his video of hip hop. I forgot what it's called. Hidden hip hop, some bullshit. Everything's hidden. I don't know, but more with the creation of hip hop. And, he was leaning more towards it being an FBA thing and blah, 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 blah. Amongst the controversy in that, Puerto Ricans and Latinos are like, no, we help too, whatever. He got involved in that. All right. And he had to say some things. Fast forward a little. He also got involved in the spat with Fat Joe, and where many believe, it's not his doing, but because of his, some of his pressure as well, perhaps got Fat Joe canceled from doing the BET Awards, which I don't really think it's a win. I mean, I've actually, I should have done a video on that, but I guess I just didn't get around to it. It might happen. It might not. I don't know. I actually would like to find out more what people think about that. Because in the grand scheme of things, of what FBA is fighting for and about, making Fat Joe lose a gig is not a big win for, reparations and all this stuff that you're trying to do. That's just my opinion. All right. I think we're too in tune with celebrating these little fights and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm building up my case here. So he had that. So he's floating on a high of that as well. Also a little battle with Vlad, DJ Vlad TV, where he was a guest on that. He decided to confront that Vlad about using people, and I don't think he's been on there after that as well. And Vlad took a lot of heat for Marlon Wayans and some other stuff that he said, and he's not the only gig in town anymore, so that was kind of good too. Hang on, just taking a drink. So let's speed this up a little bit. Somewhere between all that, Lord Jamar says or declares that he's a flat earther. All right. Now, I'm just going to tell you what I think. I'm not going to hold anything back. It's late. We're adults here. I actually brought this up at work to see how people feel about it. And I have to say, you could put down there in the comments, anybody who's rocking with me in chat or anybody in the replay gang. I said to some of my workers, I think if I was dating a woman these days and she told me she was a flat earther, I'm not sure I'd continue dating her. I'm not sure. Would you date a flat earther? Would you marry a flat earther? Now, I know a lot of people are going to pretend to see life through rose-colored lenses and say it doesn't matter what they believe and all that sort of stuff. But to me, it's an implication on bigger things, like how you process logic. Everything I argue or discuss with you is going to come back to, yeah, but you believe the earth is flat. How, how could we even have a discussion? I don't know. I don't know. And it's not like, well, let me see what you're saying here, YM. I was thinking that too. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know, excuse me. I don't know if it's two different mentalities. Say you're married for like 10 years and then you discover that your spouse is a flat earther. What do you do then? Do you just roll with that? I'm telling you, that would be a big distraction for me. Like, we couldn't even watch movies together. We would watch movies and I'd just be looking at her like, you believe the earth is flat? Yeah, you know? What are you saying, Emmanuel? You could date a flat earther, but they'd have to hear about me telling them. Okay. You'd have to. And you joke around with it, I know. But you'd be serious about it too. You'd be like, that is really stupid. And I think at this level, it's real fun to entertain that shit. But when you get into some shit where they really piss you off, that shit is going to stew. So these guys at work are trying to tell me, no, wouldn't bother me at all. I think bullshit. Somewhere down the road, that would just bother the shit out of you. You think Neil deGrasse Tyson's wife believes the earth is flat? No. I don't know. Anyway, we're leading up to part of the video that we're watching. I think that we're watching behind. We're getting there. I know it's taking me a long time, but we're going to get there. I promise. Yeah, they learn the facts in school. So what is the universe? What does the universe look like to you? Just land, infinite land and sky? And you're going to see the way this guy crashes out that there's just no logic to it. So anyway, all that to say, we're building up to this moment here. All that to say, he starts pushing this flat earther thing. I will mention a couple connections along with this flat earth bullshit. It seems like a lot of red pillars are flat earthers. Trump supporters, which I believe he is one, also flat earthers. So, do with that what you will, as we continue doing this. So, here we go. Gottfried, now, they don't have their podcast anymore talking about Gottfried, Jamar, and Rod Digga. Obviously schedules couldn't match, but Gottfried always had his, right? And he hosts with this guy, Dante Nero. A little bit about Dante Nero. He is a comedian also, although not a popular one. He used to ride back in the day with a dude by the name of Patrice O'Neal. Now, I mentioned Patrice O'Neal on a few occasions here. And man, I encourage you. He's passed away for some time now. But his lessons are still valid. And he would have been the biggest thing in comedy. He was a comic, very respected in the league. So just go check his shit out. But they were boys and they rolled together. So that's Dante Nero there that you see on the screen. And he's a good sidekick. He's a good side host on there as well. So they had Godfried on there. And they were just kicking the shit around. And they brought up the fact that Lord Jamar is a flat earther. The plan was to invite Neil deGrasse Tyson to debate Lord Jamar. So they just joking around, just friends. This isn't serious. This isn't try to get you sort of deal. It's like, okay, you're talking all this shit, as your boys. Let's get Neil deGrasse Tyson over here. So Dante Nero knows a guy that works on the show. I forgot what the show is called now. And says, you know what? I could probably hook that up. So they go talk to his people and all that kind of stuff. And they realize he won't be able to do it. Neil deGrasse Tyson won't be able to do it, maybe for a couple months or so. And they're kind of like, I want somebody now kind of deal. So they go off to get somebody close, kind of close in the circle of Neil deGrasse Tyson. The person they get is the guy that I kind of showed you before, and we'll get to as I show one of these clips. He goes by the name of Professor Dave. He's a white dude, which will come up later. And he decides to go on the show. I'll tell you a little bit about Professor Dave. Using your shit, Professor Dave. So don't strike me down here. I don't think you will anyway. A little bit about him. So he is now, I would say, more than a hobby and somewhat of a living, goes around to debunk flat earthers. He does it. He knows his shit inside and out. He doesn't mind showing you. And he's also not the type to be punked. And he's pretty witty at it as well. So they get this guy, Professor Dave, to jump on the podcast free of charge. This is no small time guy. This is 4 million subscribers. This guy, Professor Dave, like he does the shit and obviously respected in his field. Excuse me. Also taking a drink. Hang on. So he does this, right? So he gets on the show and just as boys, fucking around with your friends and stuff, they're gearing up the show to get Professor Dave on there. And Lord Jamar already starts with the ignorance. And he's like, fuck Professor Dave, blah, 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 all this kind of bullshit. At that point, I don't think he was too serious. But as Professor Dave is backstage, he's hearing like, oh, fuck me. All right. Whatever. So what do you expect at this point, guys? You expect two grown-ass men to be on Godfrey's platform. One's going to discuss his so-called, I'm using air quotes here, valid points on flat earth. And you're going to hear the other person debunk it, and they're going to speak like gentlemen. No. Quickly, as you're going to see here, unfortunately, I didn't have anything queued up, but I'm going to try to make sure I get it because there's a bunch of clips out there. Quickly, you're going to see that this guy, Professor Dave, knows what he's talking about. And I think perhaps you're going to see a side of Lord Jamar that is quite cringy, right? And straight up, what do you say, Patrice? He was funny as he was funny as shit. He was intelligent as shit. I know I probably advertised this before, but I will drop this advertisement again. Patrice O'Neal, he didn't have a lot of specials and stuff like that, but where you could find a lot of, you know what? I'm going to do this for this guy. He deserves it. I'll tell you what I do once in a while. And of course, we're going to get back. I know how to get back to my thing here, but I also know how to get sidetracked too. You know what? I'm just going to share this. I'm going to share the screen, but I'm going to get back to it. Boom. Emmanuel, anybody else, YM, if you like Patrice O'Neal, this is where you could get a lot of Patrice stuff if you don't know already. All right, this dude here, shout out Weston 4020. Patrice O'Neal started making regular appearances on a show called Opie and Anthony. Now, a little bit of a background with Opie and Anthony. They were sort of rivals of the one and only Howard Stern. So these were New York jocks, rock jocks. You wouldn't like them on their own if you listened to them. You would probably be pissed off a lot of the stuff that they say. Very typical white boys, class clown, back of the room, cafeteria type of humor. All right. So get ready to hear a lot of that when you tune in. These are just Patrice O'Neal appearances. But the amazing thing, and there's up to 140, I'm just going to spend a couple minutes on this because it's worth it. If you start from number 1 all the way to like 130 something, when he passes away, you see the growth and contributions of this comedian, not just a comedian who basically infiltrated this world of these two rock jocks, very ignorant. Patrice was able to hang with these guys, and when they said the most ignorant shit, he was able to put a cool perspective on it. To make a long story short, one of the shows, one of the periods in the show is when Obama was going to be elected, and they were so anti-Obama. By the time Patrice was done with these two ignorant white boys, one's a racist. He's a known ass racist. Patrice flips him around to see what the black perspective, just regular shit that, the thing about privilege is you don't have to really acknowledge it. So Patrice was able to be like, this is why the state of things are the way they are. And he does that in a lot of these episodes. So I probably ran through this about 3 times. Every once in a while, I'll start with 1. I'll tell you the truth. When I get to about 136, I stop listening because it leads right to his stroke. And then they have like shows about that following. It's very sad. But you see the evolution of Patrice in the business, getting more serious about his career, all his epiphanies, and especially his great sense of humor. So check this out. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. All right. Sorry for that little tangent, but that's a little what we do around here once in a while. So let's get back to this. Okay. So, hey, what's up? We got a new guy over here. What's up? This is part of an effort to encourage people to look at science as just another belief so that people remain gullible. Are you talking mainly about flat Earth itself, the flat Earth theory? Or are you talking for the other side? I'm not sure if I get it. No problem, Emmanuel. Yeah, man, you'll definitely like it. Most religious people look at science. Yeah, I hear you. So I'm not just responding. Nobody knows what I'm responding to. Yeah. So in that regard, people look at science as being scary or almost demonic in a sense, right? Let's see what else you're saying here. Instead of looking at science as we have to understand. Yes. I believe that as well. I believe that, or at least, at the very least, an attempt to explain what we can't comprehend or what we can't see, right? Because a lot of these things are theories also. And unless you could disprove or do something else, this is the best that we have with a lot of these things. So let me try to stir this back around and get on track over here. So I was back on the Gottfried episode where now this debate starts with Professor Dave and Gottfried. As I said before, Professor Dave, this is what he does. So he doesn't go all out and lose his cool and everything. But very quickly, you'll see Lord Jamar not only lose his cool, but be insulting. And in my opinion, have a whole tantrum um, on the show over here. Now, before I start showing a couple things, I just want to let you know a couple things too. So after this happens, this is what the bizarre thing is, YM. All right. This is what the bizarre thing is. After the podcast, Lord Jamar will call Godfrey and say, "You can't post that, man." Ask Godfrey to please take it down. What does Godfrey do? He pulls it. He decides not to show it. As a good guy, as a friend. Professor Dave, though, as part of the agreement, he got a copy. He was able to record the show. So he put it on his site with over 4 million subscribers. Godfrey now is called, sorry, not Godfrey, Lord Jamar now is calling Godfrey to sell out. He wanted to put him out there. He wanted to embarrass him. He's not a true friend, this, that, the other. He ends up just looking like a straight up chump. And then he says this guy, Dante Nero, orchestrated it and used Godfrey as being his little bitch. Now, obviously, I have to play some of this. So bear with me as I find some of this stuff, because I didn't have it queued up because I got home mad late and all that kind of shit. Because you need to hear some of this.
And then water.
Here we go.
So
Let's see
I'm
what
bringing this up now. I had to bring you in on this. So I'm giving my history of how much I respected Lord Jamar just from the history of hip hop and shit like that. And so he comes on the first time, the Flat Earth thing, gets a lot, big views, It was awesome. Right. I said, man, there's a guy that was watching you. I think Dave, he's a Professor Dave. He saw your shit and he was like disputing you.
I
He
have a
said,
clip here of him saying he gave an open invite to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay,
let's.
I think you out of order, God.
I'm out of order.
Yeah, Mike, play the clip.
I'm on.
Which clip? The one where he challenges Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Which clip are you talking about?
He knows. Yeah, the one that with Neil when he.
That's what he's saying.
So all they're doing here is, obviously, as you heard, they're going back to, receipts where Jamar's like, yeah, I want to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. So here, that's what this is.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Right. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You don't respect Neil deGrasse?
No, I would debate him in a minute.
Really?
Absolutely.
Damn.
He's an actor. He has
What
a
about
sad
Terrence
card.
Howard?
Terrence Howard is a smart dude, but he's off too.
The Earth is a triangle. Let me explain. There's isosceles, there's equilateral, and there's scalene. It's not a circle. It's not flat. It's a triangle. You're all wrong. All of you mothers are wrong. And it's because I'm light-skinned that you don't believe me.
So that's what he said during the thing.
He said he would challenge Neil deGrasse Tyson and said that.
So you see, he put it out right there. Lord Jamar just talks shit, is what I think. I really don't even know how to read him for how sincere or how genuine he is about things, that he thinks he could debate Neil deGrasse Tyson and actually win anything. But of course, win or lose a debate with Neil deGrasse Tyson, it's a debate with Neil deGrasse Tyson, views, notoriety, all that shit. All right.
I happen to know. I met Neil, but I'm really tight with Chuck Nice. As comics, we know Chuck Nice.
He works with
does Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's his co-host.
Yes.
So I hit up Chuck. Chuck hit me back and he said, listen, he says, look, Neil is swamped. There's no way I could get Neil on until maybe after February. And I was like, well, all right. Well,
which is fine. If Neil wants to come later, hell, it's Neil.
Right.
You guys hearing this okay?
But then what happened was I saw a clip where Dave did a response video on
That's what I was talking about.
and the flat earth. But the first thing was I want to debate Neil.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? And so
I was absolutely, and I said this to you, God, that I'm a little funny about letting Professor Dave debate him on your platform because I was worried about the optics of a white dude.
But we tried.
Now, this is an interesting point over here. Although I get what Dante Nero's saying here, being a black platform, all that, they tried to get Neil deGrasse Tyson, which is great. It shouldn't really matter. I think what matters here is the culture of the platform. I think Godfrey's an intelligent dude. He's very welcoming. It's a very safe environment for everybody, I would say. Now, if it were on if it were on Jamar's only platform, where it's just a slightly different audience, a lot of the same people, but maybe more hood dudes on there, I'd worry about that. But I think it's an interesting dynamic because also later on, I think it plays into some of the things Jamar says and how he handles himself. I don't think he would have done that with Tyson. Here we go.
To use a black man first. And
Right.
my thing my thing is this: whatever the race is, somebody don't agree with you, and so
Right.
let's see. It's science. Let's see what happens.
Right, but I said to you several times that
Yes.
I didn't like the optics of it.
Right, of course not. Right, we got to
Right.
get a black person,
Right.
and we tried, and they weren't available.
And we wasn't available. But I made that step, and I only made that jump because he said I'll debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. So I'm always looking,
Uh-huh.
for
You guys hearing this? You good so far?
ways to build, to make better content.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that it was gonna be a trash in the way it was a trash in because I just assumed if you're that boisterous about your philosophy about flat Earth, right, that you would know the talking points of at least
yeah,
flat Earth.
that's what I thought that he would have. Okay, this is going to be a good, and I was going to like me and you were going to like we're going to shut the fuck up and let them go
right,
back
let
and
them
forth,
go
and
at
it's
it,
going to be
right.
a nice volley. And then I just thought when we first started it, do we have any of that footage where he goes fuck Professor Dave? Do we have that? I thought we were going to show
Got that
some.
on. It's on because okay, well.
So a little like what I said. All right. So all of that, you see how it started. He said, I debate what the hell is his name? I would debate him. I would debate Tyson, whatever. Couldn't get Tyson. Got this dude. And there's kind of setting what the atmosphere is like that Professor Dave had to walk into before. Whoops.
But
we don't-
I have a question though. I have a question. Sorry, Dante. Professor Dave, his response video before
Thank
you
you,
guys
YM.
had him on, was his
Thank you.
response
Thank you, Will.
video like cordial? Was it just simply disputing what Lord Jamar was saying?
Yeah, he goes because he battles flat earthers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's they come at him, and
Yeah.
he'll go against 5, 6, 7 of them coming at him. They'll curse him out. They go what the fuck you da da da. He'll be like, no, you guys don't understand science. You don't know what the fuck you do. So they go at it. So
Okay.
he came at it as here's another person that thinks he did. I don't think was he fucked up with it. I don't think so.
Well, okay, let me say this. Lord Jamal had not seen the response video.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
But
either
yes,
way,
to be honest, Zainab, he was like, this is the dumbest shit ever, blah, 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 blah.
Which is
He
fine, I think.
blasting him, right?
but it doesn't matter because Lord Jamar never even saw that.
He never even saw it.
Right.
Right. So when they came on, we brought him on. He said something about you have to have. I'll debate. So I asked Godfrey because, Lord Jamal, I've spoke to him a couple of times on the phone, but it's Godfrey's friend. So I was making the connection with Dave, and Godfrey was making the with Lord Jamal.
Yeah.
And so whatever was said, Godfrey would have to tell you. So go ahead, God.
Oh, when we asked him,
Yeah, when you asked him.
I said, yo, why don't you go against this guy named Dave, blah blah blah. He goes, okay. He said, let me think about it. He said, you know what? I'm gonna come through. You know what I mean? And on his own, I didn't force him. I said, I think it would be a really good fucking episode that you guys go at it. People love debates.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they watch presidential debates. They watch debates like.
All right. So I want to stop you guys. I'm going to stop you guys right here. I'm going to use another person. Hang on. Not a true fan of this guy, but he does have some of the video. This is what the hell is this cat's name? Mark Lamont Hill. All right. So he has some of the footage over here. So you get to see how Lord Jamar presents himself when shit gets thick. I'm just going to fast forward that.
Insanely stupid and can be.
Here we go.
Why you are against what he believes? How about that?
Yeah, flat Earth is the dumbest hoax in human history.
Difference. So if you remember from last video, backstage, maybe I didn't play enough of that, but Professor Dave is waiting backstage, so he hears Jamar say, fuck this guy.
Crazy ass. It got because she debates people. Which
I'm just gonna play that real quick before we go back.
Go against whoever the fuck.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't give her credit for nothing.
Well,
she's a liar.
I'm just saying that's not the point. I'm just saying she doesn't run from a debate. Is what I'm saying.
No,
that's all I'm saying.
She's a liar.
Yeah, I just said shit, crazy ass dude.
Okay, I want to before you say I don't want anybody to make the mistake that I think Candace Owens is cool on any level.
I didn't say she was cool. I said she doesn't run from a debate. You just want to put your opinion in about her. That's okay.
But one of the biggest debates right now is Earth. I don't know why, but is Earth flat or round?
I know it's yeah.
Yeah.
And so because the flat earthers are there's something.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
But flat earthers are really like hardcore about it. It's like MAGA shit.
Yeah, but you know
like
what?
MAGA shit.
I feel the same way with like religion. Like when people are like,
stay with it.
It's like they think that they are not believing in anything, but I'm like, you don't believe in it stronger than people believe, and you're trying to get us to not.
God. Okay, cool. People who are atheists once believed in it.
Yeah.
Okay, to be who you are. Soon as he gets on, I'm thinking it's gonna be good. He goes, fuck.
Okay.
Professor Day. Do we have that?
Okay, so this is the part I was talking. We finally got to it. So again, I'm just presenting the atmosphere before Professor Dave actually comes on to the show, which, you know, Godfrey, he's not a hip hop dude like that. He's an intelligent dude, well-spoken, very, kind of gets down with everybody, where I think Jamar still needs that street credibility bullshit. But anyway, if you're backstage listening to get on, this is what he's hearing. So perhaps decided to get a little snippy before he went on to the podcast itself.
We're gonna show this, and watch. It was very strange, and I was like, I kind of threw me off. All right, here we go.
Dave, here's my thing, man. Let me fuck Professor Dave before he even get here. You know why? When it comes to hip hop, right?
Yeah, it was like
okay. So now we're gonna skip to the other one. And this is actually when Professor Dave comes on. So buckle up. It gets interesting.
Okay, who's going to go first? Tell us, Dave, why you are against what he believes. How about that?
Yeah, flat Earth is the dumbest hoax in human history. Jamar just watched some videos by Eric Dubé, who just spews a bunch of bullshit, memorized what he says, and repeats it and pretends to be intelligent. Instead, everything you say is so insanely stupid and can be disproven with like middle school level physics.
Really?
So yeah, we can go ahead and you can rattle off.
Do you have a working model of a ball?
All right. So what do you think about the atmosphere so far? Dude comes off a little, but from what he heard before he came on, sounds a little hostile. Now, I don't think he's too hostile. He's just kind of reading the room, more or less, right? So let's continue.
A ball that has water sticking to the outside of it. Can you show me a working model of that?
A tennis ball.
Yes. Wet, and that, but no. That's not water sticking to a ball. That's saturation of water on the ball.
So
I want
You
you
think
to
he
show me
cooking
the
now?
water sticks outside of a ball as it spins. It doesn't go to the equator of the ball and spin off.
I heard what you said.
Show me a working model. Hang on.
Said something very
Show me a working.
I'm liking all of this so far. Even the commentary from Mark Lamont Hill, where he said he think he cooking now. Like, yes, he thinks he's saying some deep shit. Jamar is just jumping on, like not letting dude go and shit. Professor Dave is very entertained because I think he does this all day, every day anyway. So here we go. Whoops, here we go.
Model.
Okay. The reason that things stick to the Earth is because the Earth is extremely massive, so it generates a very large gravitational field. When water falls off of a ball, whatever ball you're talking about, to the Earth, it's because of the large gravitational field exerted by the Earth. So when you're talking about water sticking to a ball, your desired demonstration of gravity fails because gravity exists. Things fall to the ground.
There is density and buoyancy, sir. Gravity is not some magical thing that makes things drop to the ground. It depends the medium that it is in. If I drop something in this water, depending on how heavy it is, it's going to sink or float.
You see, it's getting respect to Dante and Godfrey trying to regulate and give everybody that space that they need. Right off the bat, Jamar is just somewhere else with it.
Oh, wait, I want you all to talk, but
one night, after staying back late at his clinic doing admin,
All
Dr.
right.
Tom was...
Hang on. Damn commercials.
These guys brought the scientists on, like Jamar was going to handle the science. It's like bring your cousin to come fight somebody for you, and you realize your cousin can't fight.
These guys have good commentary. We could listen.
As soon as you get to the fight, he starts doing this. You're like, oh, wait a minute. We're about to get our hands to the beat. And they're looking like, oh, wait a minute. This is uncomfortable. But Jamar doesn't quite know. Because I think little Jamar generally believes he's right. I don't think he's fake.
Wait for it,
I
YM.
don't think Jamar is right. But there's a moment where the scientists start sprinkling some extra science on it. And that's where, and it's not like heavy science. It's like middle school shit. You know what I'm saying? And it gets a little.
I want to hear. First of all, this guy came out real disrespectful, talking about the stupidest shit. Like if he was in this room, I'd be smacking the shit out of him right now. First of all,
Look at that. Look where he brought it. Now you talk about the tipping point. This is the tipping point right here.
You get to an intellectual debate.
You lost. You already lost when you're bringing the violence in there.
Within 12 seconds, somebody saying they're gonna smack the shit out of you, you're probably losing that debate. I've never won a debate and wanted to smack the shit out of somebody. No. I've never won a debate and publicly threatened to smack the shit out of somebody.
Okay.
It's all bullshit.
Right, sir? You know that, right?
What you say to the
You know that, right?
The entire body of scientific knowledge. Let me respond to the insanely stupid thing you said.
I want you to respond to my. Let him talk. Okay, we're gonna talk about what pseudoscience.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Density is not a force. It requires a force to produce an acceleration.
Right.
Things accelerate towards the Earth. Density is a scalar. It's not a force. It can't make things move. Buoyancy, there's a buoyant force, but it has gravity in the equation. Buoyancy only exists when gravity exists.
Now he's pounding.
Here's the problem with
This is so fucking cringy, dude. Look what dude's doing now. Now he's mocking him in a fucking scientific debate. Listen, what a fool.
You think that
Oh, and YM, more on this story. So he called Godfrey to take the thing down, which he did. He did what, as a friend, took it down, missed the views, all this shit. The only reason why this got played is because Professor Dave also rightfully got a copy and was like, fuck it, this is my appearance. And he did it and got damn near 1 million views between like a couple days showing it anyway. So it fucked up Godfrey's pockets, right?
things fall down because the air is less dense.
And he's Googling.
The air is less dense above the object too. So why the fuck don't things fall up? Can you
Things
explain
do
that to me?
fall up, you fucking asshole.
what
Bubbles,
fall up?
bubbles
Nothing
go up,
falls
you
up.
stupid fuck.
What
Fucking
goes
evaporation goes up, you dickhead.
Oh, and what I was saying is on top of all that, Jamar was like, I might have to do some legal action, and I'll play a little bit of that if we get to it, and accuses Dante Nero, this dude, of, he says, drugging him over. It's wild. It's wild.
Head.
And that's why he says he was out of sorts, because they're like, they were smoking weed all day, whatever, but bullshit, right?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's
like,
not a. That's because there's wind.
Because it's lighter than the fucking density it's in.
Why?
How can a fly defy
Sure
gravity?
did.
How can a fucking tadpole defy gravity? You fucking shithead.
Tadpole defy gravity?
God
What
damn.
the?
Yes. How does anything
I'm
swim
gonna show you
through?
30 more seconds.
If gravity is holding down oceans that are tons of fucking of fucking force, how does anything swim through the ocean? How do you fucking lift your arm, your legs off the fucking ground?
Things can
You
exert
fucking
force.
cock bag.
Muscles.
Yo. If we could, I would go back and count the insults of like the last 2 minutes. He called them all sorts of names. Holy shit. That is hilarious. It's not hilarious. It's cringy, but from a fly on the wall, it's hilarious. Jesus.
Birds have wings,
I hope he's high.
right? You can exert
They have
force,
wings.
which allows you to accelerate, right? Doesn't that make sense? If you jump or if you throw a ball, you're exerting force and you are counteracting gravity until that momentum runs out. You throw a ball, it goes up, and then it falls back down. Why do things fall down?
Speaking of momentum, do things
No.
energy?
Why do things fall down?
Subject. Why don't things fall
Why
up?
do-
Why do things only fall down?
Why do they-
The
Why
air
do
is
things
less dense
fall
above
up?
the
No.
ball.
Why do things fall down only? Why don't they fall up?
Look, you see what the banner says down there? I'm covering it with the thing. The banner says, Lord Jamar gets flattened by scientists. Guys are nuts.
Again, light things will rise.
Only with wind,
Dense.
which is a
No,
force.
it's not only with wind.
Things don't float. Nothing
Why
floats.
doesn't a ball fall up? The air above
Because
the ball
it is
less dense than the
dense.
ball.
Because it is dense.
What's that?
The air
ball
more
is
dense
dense.
than the ball? Is
The-
that what you're saying
That
now?
don't even make sense. That's not even what
The
what
ball
you're
is
saying.
dense.
The bodyguard
If
dude
it's
is like,
regular
look,
air, it will
I
fall
just
to
beat
the
people up for a
ground.
living.
If
This
it
shit
was
is
in,
Why
if
does
it
it
was
fall?
in,
Isn't
say
the air
a
above the ball
gel,
less
if
dense
it was
than
in
the
a
ball?
gel, what is it? What's the ball gonna do?
Okay, I
It's
don't
just
know
gonna
about what the
stop
fuck you're
there,
talking about
right?
The gel in the air. Why
Then
does it
it depends on the medium. Why does it fall up? What
Wait,
does falling up
wait,
have to
wait. I didn't hear that before. I don't even know who Jamar's talking to on the side. Like, he left that conversation. He said he's talking about a ball. Then he says, then he says, if the ball is in a gel, what the fuck are you talking about?
do with anything? I don't
No,
understand.
because
what
you
you're
think
saying.
He said there's
what?
no such
He-
thing as
you
gravity.
You said there's
Why
no
is
such
there a
thing in
preferred
gravity.
And again, you can pick your
We
spot. It
just
doesn't
have
matter.
absence of
No, I
matter
don't-
next to pressurized air.
Yes, which sticks to the earth because of gravity, which again you pretend doesn't
Which
exist.
sticks to the earth, so it's spinning with the earth
I have the
at
definition.
at 1,000 miles an hour.
He doesn't believe in gravity.
okay,
he doesn't
so-
believe in the earth.
I have the
And we'll
definition.
really jump into all the favorite talking points. So the earth spins once per
Man.
day.
Bro,
That's what a fucking day is. Did you know that?
Oh,
Do you know what a day means? It's how long it takes the earth to spin around.
so now dude is just clowning him. He's done entertaining him. Now he's gonna treat him like that third grader Manuel.
one time.
He's like, cut your
So
shit,
all
man.
of this 1,000 miles an hour bullshit just makes you sound like an idiot because it spins once a day. It spins at half the rate of the hour hand on a clock. Not so fast, is it?
Hold up.
Well,
Speechless.
Pretty funny shit, huh?
yeah,
So
really
the-
funny.
Yeah. Any response?
Yeah, you're full of shit.
Am I full of shit about what a day is? Is a day 24 hours? What's a day, dude?
Your
Tell
mother.
me what a day is.
I got
First
a
of all,
question.
Your mother.
Go ahead.
What are we living on then? If it's not flat, so some people say it's not.
So people
round.
are upside down
What
on the ball
are
because
we
of
Upside
gravity.
down?
Yeah,
What's upside down? Why upside down? What
because
does
the
that mean?
ball has to have a top and a bottom, correct?
Does it?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's a ball.
So
Y'all say the
He doesn't
North Pole
understand
and the
ball.
South Pole, right?
Where's the top of a ball?
He really sounds like a child trying to but a child would just be like, why? It's a child with attitude.
You
Take a
said it's at the
featureless
North
sphere.
Pole.
Take a featureless sphere. Where's the top?
It's not featureless. Y'all say the North
Okay,
Pole,
But you
and
you
the
said a
South
ball.
Pole.
You didn't say the Earth. You said a ball. Okay, so
That's
you're
what y'all
saying-
saying.
man.
We're on a ball. You said we live on the outside
It's
of
a
a
planet.
ball.
So Dave
Okay,
is
so
the Earth.
you're
it's a sphere,
designating
no?
the North Pole as the
What
top
is
and
the
the
shape
South
of
Pole
the
as the
Earth?
bottom. That's fine. So now how do we orient ourselves down? Where is down to us? Where's down?
This is why.
What do you
Is
mean?
it
Where's
I'm gonna pause it. Y'all get. He breaks down to the guy like like down is relative to your perspective, i.e., if you're here, this is down, and if you're here, then this is down because it's your perspective, and it's not that like somebody's hanging off the earth, dangling, like holding on, like he doesn't understand how gravity works, and it's okay. Like Jamar has a right to not believe in gravity or science or dinosaurs or whatever the fuck. People have.
I'm just seeing if there's any
There was a moment in the
A very
professor. You have man. But the four corners of the earth.
All right, so I think that's basically that, but I actually want to do one more solid here, which is, hang on for a second while I flip around. Godfrey actually addresses that, which I think deserves a little bit of play. So hang on while my sloppy self gets this. Hang on, hold up. Actually, let me do what we do over here. I'm going to let you guys hear a little music while I look up this clip. It'll be about a minute. That's all. So don't worry about it. All right. Stop partying over there. Here we go. So this is Godfrey's got to respond to all that sort of stuff, right? Want to hit you guys with this.
My history of how much I respected Lord Jamar just from the history of hip hop and shit like that. And so he comes on the first time, the flat earth thing, gets a lot, big views, It was awesome.
Right.
I said, man, there's a guy that was watching you, a guy named Dave. He's a Professor Dave. He saw your shit and he was like disputing
I
you.
have
He
a
said,
clip here of him saying he gave an open invite to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay,
Okay,
hold
let's-
on. I think you out of order, God.
I'm out of order.
Yeah. Mike, play the clip.
I'm on.
Which clip? The
The
one
first
where
clip.
he challenges Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Okay, so we got some of this already.
Which clip are you talking about?
I'm going to move it up.
He knows. Yeah, the one that with Neil when he.
That's what
I
he
should have
was-
used
that's what
this
he's saying.
one.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I should have used that one to continue a little bit. I did. But hang on. I'm just going to move it up.
Million followers. So he wasn't charging us anything to come on.
That's a good point.
And I won't do it. I did not show it.
Okay.
You know,
This is the part I
right,
wanted.
right. That's, and I'm like, so my.
Before he even get here. You know why? When it comes to hip hop, right?
So Jamar tries to kick people off what's not his show. But here we go. After all that.
Yeah, it was like fuck. I just thought I was just a little bit like that. I laughed. I was like, okay, I thought he was just gonna say fuck it and keep it going. But he was really like, I don't fuck that dude. I want to talk. And then what did he call him? Did he call him the F word?
Call him,
Said the
F word, homo, all like he went
yeah, it
through
was
the
just
whole-
weird. It was just a
At
little.
one
went
point, I
through the
think he
whole
said he went
gamut,
down on his own father.
which is also
Say it
kind of
again?
ill because
At one
I
point, he said he went down on his own dad.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird. Go ahead.
And I was like, this is a platform Like for you to come on and go down that road, it's to, in my opinion, is disrespectful to the platform, because Dave came on as a guest, Jamal came on as a guest. Why would you not expect a blatant, just a basic respect for each other on the platform? Period.
Right. And I'm like, so my podcast don't mean shit to you, because I did his podcast. I've never disrespected his podcast. I always was respectful to his podcast. And and then when when they were going back and forth, Dave didn't stand down. He was like, no, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I was like, okay.
What's his name? Jamar was definitely too comfortable. And he should have been comfortable because that's his homeboy and everything like that. But not comfortable to treat the so-called outsider disrespectfully as an outsider. That's when you really show somebody from the outside, how welcoming your panel is. Jamar went the ignorant way, man.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. And it got a little viral, it got a little viral and shit. And then he was like, yo, take this dude off. After that happened, he was like, yo, yeah, man, don't show that shit. Don't show the episode. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because that fucks with my shit. That fucks my money up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't show it, because we cut it off right away too. Like I say, oh, this is gonna be cool. Yeah. It happens. And I said I won't show it. Yeah. As a friend, I won't do it. I did not show it. Yeah. And that cuts into my shit. Yeah. And then everybody's like, yo,
Godfrey didn't have an episode to put up. And then the other episode, because Dave recorded on his side, Dave got 500,000 views on his side for putting up the clip of it, because he had recorded it on his end.
Yeah. And so
did you guys know that he was recording?
I didn't know he was recording. I had no idea. I didn't even think about it.
No, we didn't know. But the part of the deal of him coming on was that he could have the footage.
Right.
This dude has 4 million followers. So he wasn't charging us anything to come on.
Right.
He was coming on, and all he asked for is just so long as I can get the footage.
Yeah. So, and then I didn't do it, and everybody's asking me, why didn't you put up the flat earth shit? Yo, man, why didn't you put up? Nah. And even on videos, like my regular content, people are like, yo, fuck all that. Where's that footage of the flat earth? Yo, Godfrey, this was funny, but yo, what's up with that? You ain't slick. You just gonna put up shit and act like you missed an episode?
Oh shit. I just realized I was God damn it. Another rookie mistake. I was on mute. Anyway, I was just saying I agreed with that part that Professor Dave was kind of, I could say it was more of a favor, a lot of followers, this is what he does kind of deal. He jumped on, not making a big deal about it and just wanted the footage. So I think I just ended that by saying I believe Professor Dave did them a solid.
Motherfuckers was mad as shit.
It was like, fuck your Steve Harvey.
Yo, man, that's a good impersonation, but impersonate that episode, motherfucker. They were coming at me still to this day. They go, why'd you let this motherfucker punk you into not? I said, it wasn't about that. It was about being a friend. That's what I wanted to do, because I'm that kind of guy. I'm not a fuck boy. I'm not. No one can say that about me. Nobody. You can not like me because whatever, that's fine. But as far as backstabbing people I know, as far as being like a gossip, I'm not that. I don't do that type of shit. I like to confront. Like, if there's a problem we have, let's talk about it. That's just me. I don't owe anybody any fucking money. I don't owe anybody shit. Nothing. I got plenty of comedians that do not like me, and I've done nothing to them. And they've shown how they don't like for no reason. I know comics that have hated on me for years. People will say, well, why didn't you? Blah, blah, blah. I go, well, there's comics that block that. I'm being honest. I'm not even, because I've seen it.
Check this out.
What's up?
Afterwards, I call Godfrey. I'm calling Godfrey the next day. I'm calling Godfrey. Godfrey's not picking up the phone, which is weird. And and then he says, I'm on the phone with Lord Jamar.
Yeah.
And I text him, I said, I know he's pissed at me. Right?
Yes.
And Godfrey goes, his text back to me is yup. And I go, well, what's up? And then Godfrey says to me that Lord Jamar said that I drugged him.
Yeah, he drugged him. He said, I think your boy drugged me. I go, what? First of all, I'm not a weed
Now, this is just bizarre shit.
smoker. So I'm like, what? I don't get it. He goes, I was out of sorts on that episode. So I go, but you smoke all day, every day. He's always rolling joints on there.
He rolled 3 blunts.
The whole place was smoked up, you know. And he goes, your boy tried to try to I don't know. He put something in the thing. I go, why would he do that? Like, he did it because he's like, yo, that's my man.
But isn't this fucking? There's got to be more going on with Lord Jamar. Like, this just got he's midlife crisis, some shit. This is shit. Like, what the fuck, dude? Is that some weird shit to say?
I'm gonna get him some weed, blah 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 blah, and he threw that in. I go, Dante wouldn't do no shit like that. Why the fuck would he do that? Why the fuck would he spike himself and give you the same shit? Like, he don't do shit like that. We're not those kind of guys. I don't give a fuck who he talks to. We don't do that kind of shit, you know. So I was like, damn, what? And then he goes, yo, and if I have to take legal action,
wait, you going up too far.
What happened? What?
So first, then he was like,
you're a pimp. I'm sorry. He said you're
an ex-pimp,
yeah,
such and such, and so you know how he manipulates people and blah 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 blah. Now, I've never been lied or misrepresented myself. Pimping is not something that I'm proud of.
Right.
It's not something that I put in the front of. In fact, the reason why I'm not, because it was something that I didn't have ethically. I didn't have the stomach for it.
Right.
So I'm not.
God damn. This shit just keep getting wilder and wilder for real. What the did you ever think? At the start of this podcast, did you ever think that it was going this direction?
It's not something I brag about, but when you keep saying that, it's a way, in my mind, it's shots fired because it's a way of disparaging me. Oh, this nigga he's a pimp. Yeah. He takes advantage of blah, 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 blah. And he kept saying that, right? Yeah. So, Mike, you got the video for that?
Which one are you looking for?
They said the pimp, when he called, he said he's a pimp, so he tried to. No, there's a video. The video what he did with the flat earthers.
Yeah. I got
it. Here it is. Okay, let's see it.
Cool. I let this sucker bitch, pull me into some shit. There's a guy on the show that used to be an ex-pimp, and since he couldn't best me the last time, he did what a pimp does, and he got a bitch to do his dirty work, and that's what happened.
Isn't that what the fuck?
You need to look yourself in the mirror, and
isn't that fucked up? Jamar got to be on some shit to be talking like that, though.
Yeah, so he's calling us names and shit like that. That's
your boy. Y'all did couple hundred podcasts together. Yo, what the fuck is Jamar on, dude?
It was your behavior, man. You did that. I didn't make you call this dude the F word. I didn't make you say fuck Dave. I didn't make any. I just said you showing up, cool. I even gave you money for the toll. Congestion fucking tax data. I said I didn't. This is your behavior. And now you blaming me for that shit? That's just that's bullshit.
Now,
that makes
Godfrey, back up 2 points. So I'm not afraid of nobody, and I didn't do nothing wrong. So I text Jamar. I was like, yo, there's no way I would ever drug you. That's crazy. Right. He was like, oh, Godfrey said drugged. I didn't say drugged. I was like, well, I just want you to know I would never drug you. I go, and the only reason why we set this up in the first place was because you said you wanted to debate out of his own mouth. You saw the video. You said you wanted to
debate Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Debate Neil deGrasse
right.
Tyson. I couldn't get Neil.
Yeah.
So I got the next.
I gotta ask, because I was explaining this to somebody last night, actually on the Partners podcast. Go check this shit out. They're funny as shit. everything makes sense, right? Like I'm not off my rocker, right? Like everything on Godfrey's side sounds reasonable. The only one that sounds unreasonable is Jamar. Am I off my rocker, or is that just about right? Is that the way you guys feel about that shit too?
It's the best thing, and that's how it went down. I had no idea that he wasn't inept to with his own points or to deal with this dude or any of that. It was just me putting it together because he asked.
Yeah. That's and so
and even before that, what you're saying, William, Godfrey, no, fucking Jamar requested that Godfrey not post it. Godfrey's not the one who posted it, man. So you're exactly right. Godfrey is a good friend.
Yeah, man. And he said, I'm gonna take some legal action. You know, if you and then he goes, I didn't sign anything to show my. It's like that. You can't. You've been on my podcast before. Now you're doing this legal shit. Whatever is clever. You can't do that. Like now you're gonna do a lawsuit on me. Like what? Yeah. You called him. You called him F words and all kind of other shit. You know. So, and it's almost like you're trying to make up a beef, I guess. Maybe that's
for all the people that shitting on Drake for lawsuits. Like, look at his OG. And by the way, lawsuits are pretty common in hip hop. There was a time NWA was going through their shit, even up until the late 90s to the 2000s. And they had a name for NWA. It wasn't niggas with attitude. It was niggas with attorneys. They were dubbed in the music biz for a little while. That's how much litigation was going on for this stuff, like, or against each other.
That's a rap.
He tried to Drake you.
Yeah, he's trying to Drake me. Like I'm like, huh? It's like you're bad. Your enemy is the guy Dave, not me. And then you're calling us sucker bitch and all this other shit. I'm like, maybe you're that kind of guy. Maybe you're that kind of whack ass dude. Maybe that's what you are. Because I didn't call you any names. I said, let me just you fucked my money up. Yeah. And then you're saying, oh, they're just doing this for views. What individual on social media is not doing shit for fucking views? What motherfucker? If you ain't doing shit for views, you should not be on social media. Everybody wants views. That's why everybody and their mama is twerking on whatever. They're doing sketches with their kids so they can be fucking influencers. You have to have views. That is how these fucking things work. Views work. That's how you get money. Okay? That's how everybody's doing this shit for views. And you fucking right, I'm doing this for views.
But he's implying you sold him out for views.
I sold him out for views. That's what I did.
You got literally.
I sold him out. My views came because
Godfrey still handled it pretty. He rightfully should be pissed, dude. Like the fuck.
He's been on my show. Stop. I've earned my shit on my own.
He's creating this beef to get the views.
Probably, yeah, that helps him get views.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't, he'd be like, oh, let me not say anything.
Just another guess.
Because controversy brings people to watch. You know, so I'm like, to get views, yeah. What else would I do this for? I'm doing this for views. You fucking right. Views are currency.
Yeah.
Views are currency. That's important to have views. Oh man. And this is not some beef I'm having with him. I just think you calling us names and calling me out. I'm like, I did you a favor. I tried. Yeah. And then you doing that. And so you backstabbing?
Yeah, you did. You did try.
Hey, Mike.
He took down the fucking thing.
You know, and then he goes, oh, we going to take care of that. Like, take care of what? You know, what did you think? What did you get from that, Dante, when he said we're going to take care of that?
Sound like a threat.
Like, oh, we're going to take care of that. Like, what do you mean? Over flat earth. This is what we're doing. But that's that hip-hop petty shit, I think. Comics we don't operate like that. You might get mad at a motherfucker here and there, but we don't really operate like that. But rappers will be like, I'm coming to get you. You said that thing about me in that one track. The fuck? This shit is wild. Go ahead.
But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know?
Who? I'm going to put that back. Hang on. Just the way he says that. He's got to be on something, right?
But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know?
Why is he talking like that? People were my friend. What a weirdo.
Fuck. This shit is wild. Go ahead.
But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know? And you don't want to believe that your friends would do certain things, but yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, I was just not in my right state of mind. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool. Yeah.
No, that's not even accountability, dude. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool. Not that he was disrespectful. Not that he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Not that he insulted, like he said, his best friend because he was out of sorts. What is fucking weirdo, dude?
And you don't want to believe that your friends would do certain things, but yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, I was just not in my right state of mind. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool. Yeah.
You created an environment in which I could discover who I am.
All right, YouTube with the commercials, dude. I get it. I'm not a premium member, but fuck. All right.
He believes his own shit. So I just wanted to get that out and talk about that.
He just seems, I don't know him
Yeah.
at all. And I am like, I understand the situation. And
So you missed my beginning. I'm a old school dude, William. Jamar was a rapper from the golden age of hip hop, basically. Not the best, you know. They were part of a group, and they got some relative respect back in the day. There were 3 of them. One turned out to have his moment. One went a little more underground. That would be Sadat X. And Jamar did some acting shit, and that was basically about it, man. Oh, okay. So you got all that. That's it, man. You know, no more mystery to that. Basically, Emmanuel, right? Like, even he didn't even really collect his thoughts to come back and say anything relevant. He's still trying to say. He's still. That's a whack look, dude. You look like shit after this.
from what I saw, it seems like he's embarrassed.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it seems like he's embarrassed, and it doesn't seem like he buys his own shit. I think I think it's a performance. Oh yeah. I think it's a performance. Like he is very.
Oh, this
he
is
can
funny.
be very direct with the words he wants to say, and then other times he's choosing to use like coded language and make you. He's not talking directly.
Right.
I think that he knows exactly.
You're looking at it. You're looking at what he does now. Maybe a couple acting roles. Excuse me. Get a drink. I think you're very much looking at what he does now, man. And he's ruining it. You know, got a little fame off of making the rounds off DJ Vlad. I think Vlad kind of propped him up until he got his own podcast. And that's about it, man. You know. Anyway, we'll do a little more of this, and then I'll probably close it out in a few minutes. But this is the Lord Jamar fucking saga, man.
What he's doing, and part of it is the clicks of it all, you know, and the attention. But I think that it is embarrassing if for a very long time you've been able to hold a position as like all-knowing and respectable.
So, William, let me go back and let you know, in case you don't know. So Lord Jamar had his, but they all did a podcast together. Lord Jamar, Godfrey, and Rod Digger. From what the hell is that crew? You know who she is. From Busta Rhymes, from Flip Mode, right? So yeah. And it was good. It was fun. You know, it was entertaining. Rod Digger gave another hip hop female perspective, good stuff, all that kind of shit. So they even know each other more than you think. Like, they were cool like that. So another reason why Jamar felt a little more at home with shit, you know, than he probably should have, you know.
And I say something and people believe it, and I have enough of the performance and seemingly knowledge. Because I'll be very honest with you, Godfrey. I watched even Terrence Howard. I watched his interview with Joe Rogan. That's a very long interview to watch. And when you watch things like that, it's so difficult because they'll say one thing and you like, I didn't think about it like that. And then they say another thing and you like, now they out they goddamn mind. And then they say another thing and it's like, dang, well, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think any human being that is curious has a little bit of like open-minded, like is a little bit open to like, well, let me hear what they have to say. Right. And so he is constantly.
It's exactly right, Emmanuel, man. And there's people like Jamar out there that, like what you said, believe their own shit. That's scary, dude. You know, we see it. The whole world could see the bullshit. But do you think it's is it pride more over the reality? Maybe. I don't know.
Constantly incubated by people who feel the same way he does. Right. And like a relationship with you probably works.
Incubated is a good word for that.
Works because you're not somebody that's like, you don't care if the earth is round or flat, but you're like, but I want to know, like, what do you think? And show me. I want to hear how it's sparking for you, right? And so then when he's put in a position, especially publicly. And Dante said he was worried about the optics of it being a non-Black person.
Right.
And that probably was also because, as you said, Lord Jamar was a conscious rapper.
No doubt.
And so as much as it's not being said, it's like not only is it a non-Black person, the science guy, David, he also appears to be younger. And so this is
two things on there. It's a good point that she brought up. Lord Jamar was considered part of, when rap was trying to be more uplifting and conscious and whatnot, he was considered that. And of course, being a 5%er also, that he turned out to be, dare I say it, an ignorant bum, on top of that as well, man. Professor Dave addressed, obviously there's a lot more that you could look up online to follow a lot of this stuff with different opinions and everything too, but even Professor Dave addressed the color thing, which I thought was pretty good. Because here's another, I might put the link in here, but this is for you guys that are listening right now. Go back, we'll see how much time we have. Maybe I'll play a little bit of it. In case I don't, though, go back because Godfrey invites Professor Dave back on the show and they just talk science. They talk the stuff that Professor Dave was supposed to be talking about anyway. And it's actually a really good episode because they go into, I guess, minorities or Black people's distrust of science because they were basically used as guinea pigs for a lot of the science in the past and everything like that. And they address that. A lot of the books, Gottfried is very well read and a lot of these things as well. But Professor Dave says something like, yeah, you could argue and totally agrees that science has definitely been racist, this, that, whatever. But as far as physics goes and the stuff with the earth, there's nothing race laced about that. I'm paraphrasing. He says it a lot better than I said it, in the heat of in the argument as well. But anyway, it's a good, after all this, to go back and listen. They invited him back on the show and then they talk again, couple jokes about what happened in the previous one, and then they continue.
All this information, all of these things going into this person that is sort of eloquently and effortlessly disproving what you said. And now your audience of people, you and Dante, who at first were like, we're going to give you the stage.
Yes.
you guys were like, he can do this because he said he wanted to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
That's if you want to debate the best, then sure enough, we could give you the JV baller, right?
Exactly.
Like
And
that.
so then when it goes off the rails in that way, I think he's just really embarrassed. And it takes a lot for any human being when they're embarrassed, but especially a grown male Black rapper. I mean, just if you just go through it takes a lot to be like, you know what? Let me go back and get that info. I don't have the information. But let me.
Right.
I'm bested.
Yes.
I'm bested. So I'm gonna sit down and shut up. And then I'll come back to the match and try again. You know that's rare.
Yeah.
So what he's doing is just trying to save his, because ultimately he got to make sure he doesn't really lose in front of his audience, because as he's saying to you doing it for the clicks, you did it. He got to keep his thing going too.
No doubt. Yeah. But and
I believe part of that, Emmanuel, these are the people that never felt smart in school. They latch on. Right. Absolutely. And it works for a very small group of like-minded people or easily influenced people that won't have the balls to call you on your shit until you meet somebody that really does the shit. And then you see what you got, right? Okay, so hang on for a second. I think I'm going to close this up soon, but I think that is almost over. So I want to just show you, like I was saying, the follow-up that they had, and then you could go watch this on your own time. It's like over an hour, but they do go back and invite Professor Dave again, so we make sure the one that I want is showing. And I'll just show you the starting, how they get into it.
Guys, now it's time for the professor himself, the professor of science, the man who believes that the earth is round. How you doing, sir? Professor Dave.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What? Here we go again.
Here we go. Let's do it.
This time it's
Dave, now that you're here, I just want to start off by saying, fuck you. No, I'm not.
Yo,
nothing can be as bad as last time. So yeah,
He takes a couple shots. I like the way they address this, but believe me, the whole podcast is not on this. They actually go in and start discussing science. I just like the way they kind of segue into it.
I did not, and honestly, I really wanted there to be a real adult discussion because I like to see that.
Oh, that was very naive of you.
I'm sorry. I know you battle this shit all day. I didn't know.
I know flat earthers. Yeah, I know how they are.
So it's like me and me. It's like me arguing with improv actors. You're not a stand-up, motherfucker. It's not the same thing.
Give me a word.
Yeah, give me a shut up. It's like, you know what I mean? I get it. And
soup.
I always love science, but I'm not the guy that you are. I'm not that into. I'm into science, but not like Neil deGrasse, who I've done his podcast and his TV show. But I'm not you.
I'm just going to speed through some of this so you can see some of the points.
You guys, and I respect you guys.
Rises in the east and sets in the west. It maintains the same.
So basically, going over the Gottfried, excuse me, Gottfried asked, "So why is the world round?" or whatever. And in layman's terms, he answers it
angular
very
size. Well. It's all these kind of really basic observations.
It's sort of the access point. Like
would that be like frame of reference type?
Also the
God, can you explain that? What he was talking about, the what was that word?
The converging.
Crepuscular.
Because I know he just said, "What about crepuscular rays?" I was like, okay.
Yeah. So this is just. He got really mad when I told him that he was just repeating everything you heard from him.
And by the way, I think they're on Professor Dave's podcast. They went to him this time. This is not on Gottfried's.
Eric Dubé video, but that's exactly what he's doing. Is there's this guy Eric Dubé,
and
it's there's no gravity, it's density and buoyancy, and how is the atmosphere next to the vacuum space, and what about crepuscular? I mean, he was literally just going down the line. So crepuscular rays, sometimes when you see like sunlight shining through a cloud, and then which we arrived at that consensus, right? They're a bunch of mathematicians and engineers and
hey, there's some ball players that are mathematicians.
Yeah, not like that though.
I know, I got you.
There was something I was gonna say. Go ahead, because
and also flat earthers say that the planets are not actually solid like spheres. They're like
biology would be
I was just trying to find where they reference some of the books and stuff.
totally unrecognizable bulge. And so the
speakers and the speakers would all be on the back dash. And so if I stop short, I give it, and then the speakers used to hit me in the back of the head.
And that's
so
how
it would
you
be
thought. That's centrifugal force, wouldn't it be?
Not centrifugal.
the equator, there certainly are
who Whitsitt and
wait, they're
Whitsitt
casted out because they were wrong.
The astronauts, when they travel through them, do receive a higher dose of radiation than if us just standing on Earth. I mean, that's part of the job, right? You get a risk, but it's very easy to calculate, right? How bad is it, right? Patients, and you can get cancer, and the Van Allen belts. We're just talking about these belts where the charged particles are following the magnetic. So it's just a and our spacecraft are equipped with now. Even so, the astronauts, when they travel through them, do receive a higher dose of radiation than if us just standing on Earth. I mean, that's part of the job, right? You get a risk, but it's very easy to calculate, right? How bad is it, right? It's not bad enough to not go. It's not that bad.
Is the sun an old star?
Okay, the thing that started all that. I'll just do one more effort. I won't hold.
This is another thing that flat earthers talk about. They act like it's like a physical barrier. It's just the magnetic field lines do, because it's with atmosphere where there's patients and you can get cancer, and so
a lot of the model for what the aliens look like have changed with the movie. The what is the priest, or what was he, a reverend or whatever? The guy who did it,
Pastor Will Duffy.
The pastor, he believes that the Earth is only 1,200 years old.
Damn,
that I haven't.
What are shills?
Like,
all right, I'm not going to find the thing that I was looking for, but the whole thing is worth watching.
And then you get planets wherever they end. The sun.
Try it for the last time.
So there's a bunch of bullshit out there.
Okay,
that's just like such and such magic there, or you can move that, or you can.
I got an intelligent design question. So you
I refuse to use the term globe earthers.
Right.
You smacked shit out that one.
All right, yeah, I'm not finding it. I do recommend on your own that you guys check the follow up. It's a nice little end to the whole crazy shit that you guys see, and yeah, man, that is
Meanwhile, back at the show,
that is the crazy stuff that I was talking about, man. And I'm glad I was able to show you guys, and that you guys were able to hang out also, man. So as we pack it on down now. Nah, man, thank you. Thank you, William Turner, for checking us out. Hope you come back. Manual, as always. Thank you for your support, man. And YM, I don't know if you're still with us, man, but thank you for popping on and hanging with us tonight, too, on the late one. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. Have a good rest of the night. Be safe. And go back and check these videos on your own, man. You will have some laughs. But I'm still in a little bit of disbelief about the whole damn thing. You know that saying, it's good not to meet your heroes? This is why, man. You find out that they're fucking whack jobs, dude. You know? Damn. Anybody listening, any cloud people, do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe. Write me some comments. Write me some suggestions. I might actually do it. No matter what you do, I try to do a live at least once a week. Normally during the week, but I liked how Saturday worked out. And I like to drop a video about once a week on probably about one topic too. I might do my live in a few days, maybe on Wednesday, to kind of catch up where I need to be. So please, 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 if you subscribe, put on the notifications and you'll get when I'm on too, man. Whatever you are, whatever you're doing, appreciate you spending time with me. Be safe. Appreciate you.